This week we look at a man to watch for the World Cup who's from Australia. He's also a man who's made his name across the cricketing world, whether it be in county cricket in England or in Test cricket in the West Indies. He's Australia's most dependable batsman of the moment and a useful bowler too. Mark Waugh.
It's a glorious shot. That's characteristic of Mark Waugh in full flight.
We played soccer, golf, tennis at quite good levels at school and that, but it was always going to be cricket. I think every young kid in Australia dreams to play cricket for Australia, and I think that was, the deciding factor.
Throughout his cricketing career, there's always been comparisons with his brother Steve. Their progress has been side by side.
It's just like playing with, another one of the team members. We don't see each other as twins or brothers on the field. We're just part of the Australian cricket team, and we're out there to do our best. We like to help each other, obviously, if we're batting together. Apart from the odd run out, we've put together quite a few good partnerships.
Their partnership in Jamaica last year was perhaps the one that sealed the Test series win.
We haven't beaten the West Indies for a long time, and 1-1 going into the last Test series in the West Indies away from home, with the chance to beat them was obviously the Test match of our careers, really, and everybody sort of lifted themselves for that match, I think, and we got the result we wanted.
His 8th Test century for Mark Waugh. Applause from the Australian players.
I have to rate it as my best innings, yeah. In the circumstances of the game, I think we're 3 for 50 at one stage. Then myself and Stephen got together, and we made 100 each. Stephen made a double 100, and at that time in the series, it was very important that we put together a good partnership.
Away from Australia, Waugh has a second cricket life. He plays in county cricket for Essex in England.
When I play for Essex, I do my best. They've been good to me. They gave me a start at Essex when I wasn't playing for Australia as an overseas player, so I like to perform well for them, and any game of cricket, to me, is important. The atmosphere is not quite the same as, obviously, 80,000 at MCG, but once you're out in the middle, then, you concentrate and you don't really take much notice of, outside surroundings.
Mark Waugh, he's top bloke, but, he'd grace any World 11. He's a fine player. Since he's made his debut against us at Adelaide in 1991, I think it was. He scored 100 on his debut. He hasn't looked back, and he's a good player to watch. Very entertaining, very exciting, tremendous fielder and useful bowler. And he's done a great job, and it's a shame that probably he's not going to play for Essex for that much longer due to his international commitments.
And what about him in the dressing room? Is he a bit of a lad, or does he tend to stick to himself?
Oh, he's all right. He likes a bet, I know that. He likes to go on the horses and the GGs. I think he comes out on top, I hope so. I'm spending all his hard-earned wages on the GGs.
It's true Waugh's not averse to horsing about. He's a genuine sporting all-rounder.
I'll be looking forward to get back home and just do normal things, go to the rugby league, go to the races, just play golf, see my family, just live like an Australian, I suppose. It's definitely not a lot of fun when you're away for so much time each year.
Facing the fastest in the world on a regular basis is enough to make anyone think about doing a proper job. But what would Mark Waugh do if he gave up cricket?
I've done a bit of journalistic work with cricket magazines, writing for a few magazines, so maybe that or a bit of commentary. Don't really know.
Mark Waugh's a certainty for Australia's World Cup squad. They've narrowed it down to 20 for their team at the moment. It'll be closed down to 14 by January the 22nd, when all the squads have to be delivered. The one major shock, the inclusion of Dean Jones, a one-day specialist to add experience to their team.